Wales and Northern Ireland to start intervening in this debate, to start showing that they care.
So why now?
Well, there's a growing sense that Number 10 and Whitehall in general are pretty rattled by the way things have been going. The polls show that the gap between yes to independence and no to independence is narrowing. One poll a couple of weeks ago showed that the support for yes to independence had increased by 5 points since September. Support for no had dropped 5 points since September. That makes the gap, according to that poll, only 7%. Now, that gap is closable. In the Euro elections coming in May, it looks as though UKIP will do very well in England, but according to the same poll, the SNP are set to take 42% and UKIP in Scotland 7%. That will enable the nationalists to argue, who are the real isolationists in this debate? Who are the real separatists? Not us. So I think there is a sense here that some people, some undecided voters, are on some kind of journey from no to yes, and there is emerging in Scotland a block of people who are not nationalists, who don't like nationalism, who have never supported Allan Salmond, but who are nonetheless going to vote yes. And that is very concerning in Whitehall.
And how do you think the tenor of this speech will go down in Scotland and indeed in the rest of the UK?
Well, in the rest of the UK, it's been pretty hard to engage the rest of the UK in this debate. Traditionally, most people outside Scotland have seen this as a matter traditionally for the Scots alone, except where it impacts on people outside of Scotland. But in Scotland, the risks are very clear. David Cameron has stayed out of it until now because he knows that a certain kind of strident English conservative voice has a very negative effect in Scotland. Remember that of the 59 Westminster MPs, only one is a Conservative, and that the coalition that governs the United Kingdom at the moment consists of two parties who came third and fourth in Scotland, and there is a legitimacy question, and I think David Cameron has stayed out of that until now, and he knows that he risks playing into the hands of the nationalists. He risks being called a coward for failing to answer Allan Salmond's call to debate directly with the Scottish First Minister. So we will expect a very robust response from the nationalists tomorrow morning.
And what does this say about the state of the Better Together campaign in Scotland as it stands at the moment?
Well, it's in real trouble because even supporters of the Better Together campaign admit that it sounds very negative. In picking apart Allan Salmond's plans for independence, they've sounded as though they've nothing positive to offer. And whatever the merits of their case, the overall impression is that they're telling the Scottish people, you're not up to it, you can't do it, get back in your box. And that there is some polling evidence that that is backfiring. Many people say it's turned into a battle between hope on the yes side and fear on the no side. There's also a question mark over whether Alistair Darling is the right man now to lead this campaign. He's highly respected, highly regarded across the political spectrum, but are his talents really geared towards enthusing people in Scotland about a positive British patriotism? And it's that, I think, that gap that David Cameron is trying to close with this speech tomorrow.
Allan, thank you very much indeed. The prison